Right, take a look at what has been an incredible day and a half for the 23rd annual WEEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. Over $3.7 million raised in the fight to defy cancer, to raise money for the amazing work being done at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. It is day 2 of the 23rd annual WEEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon, and we continue our coverage. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Wasabi Fenway studios. Tom Caron along with Alex Speier. Together we host 310 to Left, and this is kind of a crossover edition. It's 310 to Left, presented by your New England Ford dealers, but also this hour of the Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. So worlds collide today.
Worlds collide in the best possible way, because this is, as you well know, this is one of the most meaningful things we get to do over the course of the year. So very much honored to be able to take the podcast into this really, really meaningful undertaking, and to respect and reflect upon and celebrate the work of the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, to appreciate all of the people who have gone through, who are going through their battles with cancer, who've gone through their battles with cancer, who we've learned so much from, who we've loved, who we've supported through those battles. And it means a lot to be here with you.
You and I walked the Jimmy Fund Walk together, Team 49, which you put together in honor of Tim Wakefield. We'll talk more about that. But you talk about Team 49 and Tim Wakefield and his enduring legacy on the Red Sox and on philanthropy and on the Jimmy Fund. Perfect man to talk to that about joins us now to begin the hour. It's Mike Timlin, the former Red Sox reliever, who joins us. Mike, of course, you are so close to Tim Wakefield. You've carried on a lot of that legacy, the Pan Mass Challenge, coming back here and helping it. What does this mean to you, this cause, and your ability to help raise the level of impact of this event?
Well, it means a lot just to be able to, for myself and my wife, to be able to represent the Wakefield family at the Pan Mass Challenge. And they raised quite a bit of money there. But, the Jimmy Fund has been associated with the Red Sox for so long, going all the way back to Ted Williams. And they've done nothing but good things at Dana-Farber and, the fight against cancer. And to see all those people, with a smile on their face after they're coming out of chemo, or, they walk up and they give their mom and dad a hug after, they've gone through hell, basically. And, and they're still smiling. That is all worth everything we can do.
Mike, you came over here in 2003, so this telethon had been was then in its second year. You had been in a number of organizations at that point, and you had been involved in a number of charitable endeavors at that point. But how do you explain coming to the Red Sox at that stage of your career, what the relationship was between baseball team and between this very special charitable undertaking?
It was tough to actually grasp, to see a baseball team and a community that have just basically adopted, the Jimmy Fund. And New England is a special area because, it encompasses so many small states, yet every state with everybody in it has the biggest hearts. I mean, they just give and give and give. And it's if anything comes into that area that they can help out with, they do. And that is, an amazing thing. And, having the Red Sox to go along with it is even better.
Taking part in the Pan Mass Challenge, it is one of the most incredible events that any charity has had the benefit of anywhere, right? I read somewhere like the money raised by the Pan Mass Challenge raises more than the next 9 biggest athletic fundraisers on the planet. Like, it's just incredible. What was it like for you, Mike? Because Billy Starr's got over $1 billion has been raised for the Jimmy Fund from that event, and the spirit is incredible. What was it like?
The spirit of the community, like Alex said, I've done quite a few, charity events, golf tournaments, any kind of, thing that we can do, dinners, whatever. But to be part of the community that the Pan Mass Challenge presents is it's really hard to describe. I mean, you're riding next to someone, as you're going down the road, and you look at their badge on their bike, and they've been doing it for 35 years. And then, I look at my badge, and this is my first year, and they are so excited that you're doing your ride your very first year and just being part of it. And I can see why people come back time and time and time again, and they want to be part of that community. It is well run. There's help if you have problems with your bike. Every stop has music, has dancing, has food, has anything that you want. And it's just, everybody has the same heart and the same drive, that we all want to get to the end. You all want to get off that saddle for a little while, but doing it and knowing who the people you're doing it for, at one of the Lakeville stop, you get to see your pedal partners and, seeing the smiles on those kids. A young man came up to me, and he wasn't my pedal partner at the time, but he just said, I'm glad you're here. I just want to give you this little bracelet. And he gave me just a little elastic bracelet with beads on it. And I wore it for the rest of that day and the next day. And, I've been wearing it for a while now. I took it off, just because I had to take a shower before I did this. But, it's just amazing to see how many people support such an awful thing.
You mentioned, Mike, what it's like to be able to engage in something like the Pan Mass Challenge and to be able to think about who you're doing it for. One of the other things you get to do is to honor the people who you love and care about so much. How much were you thinking of Tim Wakefield during the course of that ride? How much do events like this mean to you in terms of being able to celebrate the life and legacy of such a special person?
To be able to, just represent what Tim's done for so many years in that community. If I can do it just for a little while, I try to honor that as much as I can. Tim was a special person. Early in his career, he was very guarded, didn't let a lot of people in. But when we met, obviously prior to me coming to the Red Sox, and then we were teammates, knowing and seeing what kind of heart he had just for the community around him, and then the community when he was living in Melbourne, and the kids that he took care of down there, and then everything he did in the Red Sox community in New England. If we can do a tenth of that, we're going to be doing a lot of work. And he had a heart for others and a heart for helping people like you guys would never know.
Well, Mike, we appreciate the visit as always. I've said this before, if you were going in the lab and creating the perfect Red Sox player, the character and the toughness and intensity, you'd come up with something pretty close to Mike Timlin. So we appreciate
that's a huge compliment. Thank you. But
well, we always love having you on.
That.
Yeah, well, we do. We get to cover you. So we appreciate the visit as always, Mike. Hope to see you back here soon. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
Great,
Mike.
Tom. Alex, thank you.
All right, Mike Timlin with us again. Like when he got here, you're like, man, that's what you want in a reliever.
Yeah, just someone who was there in all of the crucial moments. You remember, of course, the contributions that he made throughout the postseasons with the Red Sox, especially 03 and 04 when he was completely dominant and really transformative in an area of need for the Red Sox.
No doubt about that. Many ways you can give. Pick up the phone, get online, text K-Cancer to the number on your screen. We're going back in time right now. We're going to look at a conversation I had with Tim Wakefield some 20 years ago about the Jimmy Fund. Here it is. You've been through so much here. And I know you do a lot of charity work on your own. A lot of people do. But the team has such a direct connection to the Jimmy Fund. You see so many of these faces, get to know these kids. Just, how much does that touch you as you see these kids and the families and what they're going through?
Oh, it touches us a tremendous amount. It's. I was just telling somebody earlier today, it helps for me personally. It keeps me grounded because I feel very fortunate to be walking onto this field every day, playing a game and playing my dream out as a kid. And it's something that I like to give back to the kids that have different struggles of life that may never get a chance to walk on a ball field. So for us to share our experiences on the field with them and put a smile on their face really means a lot to us.
Going over there, you go into the activity room and you see these kids and you see their families. Obviously, it might be a half hour out of your day, but it really does seem to brighten a kid. I mean, is that what it's all about when you guys go over there?
Absolutely. You want to pretty much get their mind off of what they're going through for the day. They go through so many treatments and a lot of rehab stuff, and for us to just take their minds off of that for the half hour, an hour that we're there really helps them get through the week. And a lot of doctors have told me that just a 5-minute smile or an autograph will brighten up the kid's day or a week, and help them get through their treatments.
It's a connection that goes back to Ted Williams. But when you first came here, you probably didn't know that much about it. How quickly did you sort of learn about what the team means to them?
I learned very quickly what the Jimmy Fund and the Red Sox relationship was, and today you see the sign up on the Green Monster. 50 years of service with the Jimmy Fund and the Red Sox. It tells you a lot about the organization and how committed they are to the community, in which the community that comes out and supports us on a daily basis.
Man, that was 22 years ago. Hard to believe. Adam Jacobe joining us now. How are you, Adam?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. You are dealing with kidney cancer, renal cancer.
Yes.
You're from Franklin. Take us through the diagnosis, how you arrived at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. And I always start with what the place has meant to you as you've gone through this.
Sure. So I was initially diagnosed in 2002. Had a kidney removed, was clean for 5 years, and then everything was good until 2023. Had some internal issues and bleeding, went in after a biopsy, and they determined that I had a couple tumors, one in my pancreas, a couple in my liver, weren't sure what type. First call on the call back from that biopsy was to Dana-Farber to find the right doctor, find the right place to go, and started off in the pancreatic side and was moved over to the kidney side.
And so where does that treatment situation have you right now?
So I've started off on immunotherapy. It didn't work quite as well as we wanted it to, but we had a next step, next plan, and went right into daily chemo. So I'm on a daily regimen twice a day, and I have an amazing team that brings you right through everything I need to do.
The amazing thing, or one of many amazing things about Dana-Farber, right, is the research is going on down the hall.
It is.
So as you said, this doesn't work. They're so quick with, okay, here's the next plan. Here's a clinical trial. Here's what we're going to do. How reassuring is that not only you're getting great care in the moment, but something you might undergo a year from now hasn't been invented yet, but it might be created down the hall later this month.
Oh, it was great. My first meeting with Dr. Zhu and the team, so I have an amazing team. First meeting with them, we laid it out. If this doesn't work, this is our next step. If this doesn't work, this is our next step. And we had the steps already laid out, trying to get into a trial if we could, but if the trial didn't work, we could do similar things, similar type of therapy, and go the next step. So that was me reassuring because there's a roadmap. We have a plan, what we're doing. So.
You've remained very active throughout the course of this treatment, if I'm correct. I believe that you've been, I'd love to hear about some of the things that you've been doing throughout the course of the treatment, and has it been hard to maintain kind of that same kind of go?
So initially it was, but when I met with the team, we sat down and I said, look, these are my goals. I want to be I referee high school and college football.
Yeah, good for you.
I ski patrol in the winter. So my biggest thing was I wanted to get back on the field by September. And this diagnosis was in March, April. Sat down and I said, this is my goal. And we set goals. And my goal was to be on the field. And I was, knowing that I had to maintain my health. So I went to a Live Strong program, started working out, started walking, maintaining my health and going forward. And then, you deal with the side effects as you deal with them. But I'd rather have some side effects than not be able to do the activities that I want to do.
2 children, Benjamin and Isabella.
Yes.
Benjamin just graduated from college?
Just graduated.
Isabella's just going into college.
She is.
So that's a cool 8 years.
Yeah, exactly.
But how much have they meant to you, the inspiration and wanting to be there and present in their lives?
So between them and my wife, who's standing off camera.
She was invited on camera. She's just standing back there with a phone.
They've been extremely very supportive. And it's been, a lot of my goals are to make sure I make it to their events. So my son's graduations, my daughter's high school graduation, prom events, going into college. So all those types of things I want to make sure I was involved with and be there for. So those are other sub-goals we have to move forward, and those are things we look forward to.
How much do you think that's really framed their own perspective? How have you seen your kids grow up while watching your treatment?
Well, I think it does frame some of them because they understand the activities and the work I need to go through, and maintaining my health, and they maintain their health as well. So,
are you getting ready for ski season?
Football first.
Oh yeah. So that's a football. Then you got ski season.
We do. Yeah.
So you'll be refereeing again this fall.
I will. Yes.
So to all parents who who yell at refs.
Yeah.
This is Adam.
That's right.
Don't yell at Adam.
Exactly.
Well, we should probably ask you about that real quick. How bad is it?
At the college level, it's not so bad. It's more the coaches. At the high school levels, you get more parents on that side. So.
No doubt about that. Listen, the reason we're here is to raise money to get those breakthroughs, everything we're talking about. Tell people why this matters. As a person in the middle of it, tell people why this money means a difference.
So the money, it makes a big difference because it allows you to create that community within Dana-Farber. I mean, I have a full team there. Every person there has a team. And to keep that team going, you need to have money to support that. You have doctors doing research. You have fellows and chairs that need money to go forward with their research. You have doctors that have to maintain their patients' health and give other options for these trials and everything else you need. So the money helps support all of that, helps support the patients every day, for things that they may need. So that's the most important part, is making sure the patients, physicians, doctors, everyone has that support.
Adam, we thank you for coming by and sharing your story. Ilana, we thank you for coming into the room but not showing up on camera.
We still enjoyed your company.
Yeah, come by anytime. You can come on camera, but we're done. Adam, thank you. It's great to see you. Continued success.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We will check out what's going on upstairs. The number, 877-738-1234. You can go to jimmyfund.org online. Make a gift. Listen, we are talking about big numbers here. This could end up being one of the best telethons in history. So ride that momentum. Help us get there. Help us break records. Pick up the phone and make a gift. No gift is too small. Meantime, as they take your calls, let's go up to the radio side. Lucas Giolito of the Red Sox is dropping by.
Joining us now, Lucas Giolito of the Boston Red Sox joining us here. Thanks for coming on and joining us here on day 2. We appreciate it.
Good. Yeah, how are you doing, guys?
We're doing great.
Doing great. Let me, real quick,
yes.
Rob Bradford was on with us earlier. He told me you said you'll get a baseball isn't boring tattoo if you guys win the World Series. How did he rope you into
why
that?
not?
I don't know.
He's roped in like half of baseball, I think. It's not just you. It's like a lot.
Got everybody
it's a lot of
committed
people,
to
I
this.
think.
He loves his branding. He did it with Joe Kelly, who was a former teammate of mine when the Dodgers won. And then he extended the offer to me, and I said, yeah, why not?
Okay.
I'll do it.
Do you get to pick the placement, or does he pick the placement?
I'll probably pick the placement.
Very good. Yeah.
You guys could get like Thelma and Louise style tattoo. He's already got one.
He already got one.
Rob's already got one.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I guess he doesn't need another one. Well, you're here in year 2 with the Boston Red Sox. What have you come to learn about the Telethon, the Jimmy Fund, and the Red Sox, and your involvement there?
Yeah, I mean, how big it is, how cool it is, for us as players to be able to utilize our platform for a great cause in the Jimmy Fund. How much it means to this organization, the city, all the people here, all the great work that's done to help fight cancer. It's just great to be a part of.
What's that spring training visit like when all the kids come down to Fort Myers and you get to spend some time with them?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it really puts things into perspective for us. We get to play this game for a living. It's a kid's game at the end of the day. It's a sport, and it's high pressure. Stakes are high, but anytime that we get to spend time with the kids and kind of realize, that what we do, we're very used to it. It's at our job at times. It's very fun, but to be able to, kind of share that with the kids and make their day in any way possible, it makes it very important.
It's one of the many areas where the money can go to help that funds or helps fund the Jimmy Fund trip every year down to spring training, 877-738-1234, online jimmyfund.org, or you can text to give any amount by texting K-Cancer to 56512. It's the easiest way to do it, just a text away. Again, about 3.7 million, more than that, and counting here today on day 2. You guys have dropped the last couple of games, but comfortably, compared to last few years anyway, comfortably in a playoff spot. How has this year been going for you guys, and how do you feel down the stretch going into hopefully a postseason run?
Yeah, it's been good. I think that it's been a super formative year compared. Last year I wasn't involved. I was kind of watching from afar, and I saw a bunch of our young talent developing at the big league level, taking some big steps forward, and then this year. It's even more so. We've had more additions. I like the kids have come up and made huge impacts. The returning guys, continuing to make big leaps forward. Talking about being part of starting rotation, I'm just so happy for, and I'm so impressed with Brian Bayo, his development. He's really turned into a true top of the line starter for us. For me, is kind of like an older guy. It's crazy. I have to say that now, but it is that way, especially on this team with all of our young talent. Just to be a part of, the excitement, be a part of, just a really overall talented team in many facets. That hopefully we have a really good core to make a playoff run this year and then years in the future.
For being out last year, like you said, watching it, do you appreciate it more now, or do you view it a little bit differently, getting the ball every fifth day after what happened a year ago?
It's so much more fun. Being able to actually contribute and be a part of the team. When I signed here, I signed to give this team quality innings. Be a reliable starting pitcher that can go deep into games, help out with the bullpen, and give us good chances to win. And I wasn't able to do that last year. The entire year I'm out rehabbing my elbow. So it definitely left a lot to be desired. So now this year, actually being a part of the team for real, helping us win, as we continue to push towards the playoffs, it's been a lot of fun, especially doing it here in Boston.
It seems like every pitcher, though.
All right, we'll come back down here. This is a few moments ago. We were showing you that interview I did with Tim Wakefield back in 2003. This is his daughter, Bree, along with Lisa Scherber of the Jimmy Fund, watching that interview.
It's incredible, and of course, Bree is a marvel in what she does to continue the legacy of her family, and its involvement in the work of the Jimmy Fund is extraordinary. That is a great family, and it's really cool to be able to see her enjoying the sight of her dad. And all of the special work that he did.
She's carrying on the family legacy well, working with the Red Sox Foundation here, working with the Jimmy Fund Telethon. She will join us later in this hour. Right now, we take a look back at some of the best moments here so far on day 2 of the 23rd annual WEEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon.
I love how, as many questions I've asked, they're patient, they're understanding, they want to have a conversation around his treatment, and it's a two-way conversation.
They're fantastic. They make it feel we're there 3 times a month, so it's try to make it feel more like family than a hospital visit.
You just feel heard and supported and cared for.
It makes a huge impact. I live down in Florida now, and it's on TV down there, and you're like, wow, this is a big deal. So happy to be a part of it, happy to contribute when we can, and happy to be up here.
And then you kind of see what you get back when you see the kids when you visit the hospitals and stuff, and that's the biggest, kick for me at least. You go to these hospitals, see the kids, and see smiles in their faces, and kind of that cheers up your day too.
We just do our job and then some, and I think that's the important thing. We all sort of take a couple steps more than maybe we should, or is expected of us, and I think that's the magic of it.
During chemo, he had his smile the entire time due to everything that they do at that clinic. And as of a week ago, Paul, what are you? What are you? What? Cancer free. Cancer free. As of 1 week ago.
I do arts and crafts.
Yeah.
And I love going to the resource room.
Yes.
And I love being cancer-free.
I'm so happy. That's something you wanted to try here. Do you remember what it was?
Yes. Fenway Frank time. No bun.
How are we thinking? 10 out of 10?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you want it? There you go. There you go.
Is it delicious? Yes.
Daisy Meadows had a contest that if you could spell Kaya Strumsky's last name, that you would win a year of free Daisy Meadow bread. And my girlfriends and I would scream out his name because we knew how to spell it. It was YASTRZEMSKI.
Wow.
Did they call us? No. Never.
Obviously, it was a shock when it came back. I don't think anyone expects to hear that, especially being so young. I was 34. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, well, I'm being treated at Dana-Farber. That's a fact. So it's happening.
And I am telling the whole world that Dr. Metalonis is keeping me alive. And I'm just so grateful for the A-team A-plus team, I was told, that Dr. Metalonis runs.
I want to make sure that everybody from every community has the same access, from Eastie to Palmer to Randolph to Lawrence and Methuen. And so I tell people, you try to come in and we will take care of you.
This hour of the 23rd Annual WEEI Nesson Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon is brought to you by your New England Ford dealers and F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 48 years and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox.
It's been an incredible day and a half here at the 23rd Annual WEEI Nesson Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. We're closing in on $4 million already. For a little perspective, 23rd Annual Telethon, only 5 times have we topped $4 million over the entire 2 days. Closing in on that, this could be, it already will be, one of the best ever. Could be, arguably, the best telethon we've ever had. And it's no doubt because of the play of the Red Sox. I have no doubt in my mind that is why, and two of the big parts of that. Join us now, Trevor Story, Garrett Crochet. How you doing, guys?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Good. Trevor, we'll start with you because you've been through one of these before. You've been here a few years now. When you first came here and started to learn about the Jimmy Fund, learn the relationship with the Red Sox, what did it mean to you?
Yeah, you kind of come in, new organization, and it's you see right away how important the Jimmy Fund is to the Red Sox and just to the city, really. And it's a special thing, man, because, not every organization, MLB organization does something like this. It's such an integral part of Boston and just an amazing way to give back and to be here for the city. Everyone knows the Jimmy Fund's going on, and like you said, the numbers have been great, so it's been fun to watch.
And how about you, Garrett? You obviously come over here, you get to know the organization a little bit throughout the spring, make a decision to sign a long-term deal here. A lot comes with that, right? Like, part of it is this is where you're going to make your baseball home. It's about the clubhouse, but it's also about, like, you get to have to kind of create roots in the community. How quickly did you become aware of what the Red Sox Jimmy Fund dynamic was like?
Yeah, even prior to joining the organization, it was something that I was aware of. You kind of hear rumblings of different dealings of charitable work that other clubs are doing throughout the league, and this was always the one that seemed to make the most noise. It's a really special thing that we get to do, to be able to work with these kids, and really just helps to fix your perspective a little bit on things.
And parenthood kind of does that, right? So, we'll get to you in a second, but for you, what does that mean now as you look into what it's going to be like? You think about some of these families, what they're going through, the fact that you can help raise the money that could save a life, that can help a family through that. How impactful is that for you and your family?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really special. I think that's one of the beauties of things that we get to do as baseball players. It's more than just a game for a lot of people, and I think that the Jimmy Fund is a really good picture of that.
It's interesting, Trevor, to think about, like, in the context, as Tom said, of parenthood. Like, you became a dad for the first time, like, 3 days after you became a Red Sox, right? You came over here in March of 2022, in the middle of all the in the middle of all the craziness. What's it like to be able to go through a season now that you have a son who's 3.5 years old and able to kind of like toddle around the field a little bit, and also to like go to the field knowing he gets to watch Dad standing at shortstop this year?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's everything that you dreamed of, everything we envisioned as a family coming to sign, to play baseball in Boston. And, a lot of, some of the best years, off the field have happened here in Boston. We get to be parents, and our sons are growing up at Fenway Park and just in the city. And I think that's so special. You guys have seen them running around the clubhouse, and, they're getting used to that, and they're really loving the routine of that. They love spending the days here and watching Daddy hit and watching Daddy play short. So, as much as I'm enjoying it, I think they are too, and my wife as well.
And speaking of which, right, you announced that you'll be a father. So, and when we'll start with you with the advice, what can you tell them? Because, again, it's totally different, right? I feel like guys who are playing baseball before kids, like you can have that tunnel vision, there's nothing else. And then all of a sudden, it's not just about you, but it becomes in a really good way, right? Go 0 for 4, go 4 for 4. They don't care. They're home waiting for you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The perspective, changes right away. And I think that's in a good way. I think, baseball is our biggest passion. It's our most favorite thing to do. We're so blessed to be able to play this game and, get paid handsomely to do it. But at the end of the day, when that baby comes out, everything changes and your perspective changes right there with it. So they're our whole world, and he's going to be a great dad. He's a great friend, so we know he'll be a great dad.
No advice, though, about sleeping or what, sleep now? Will you be able to bank away some sleep now for later?
Nah, I mean, sleep on the road. That's the move, I think.
Fenway has a sleep room for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Garrett, he talked about how much his kids like seeing dad play shortstop. How much do you like watching this guy play shortstop? What's it been like to see Trevor, especially over the last couple of months, as his season has really kind of clicked in?
Yeah, it's been really special. Obviously, prior to joining the team, I knew that he was a dynamic athlete, and being able to share the field with him, having to make plays for me feels pretty special. It's real range, and even as he's aging on us, I think that he just keeps getting better with time.
Yeah, love that.
You chose to come here. You chose to stay here, right? You just signed the extension. Both of you I've talked to over time, and the noise we've heard over the last couple months, the passion, it's getting louder. They're on every pitch. Like, that's what you both envisioned coming here, right? You're seeing it come. How cool is it to sort of, you picture this, you missed some of it for injuries. Yeah. The Red Sox missed some of it because they weren't going to playoffs, but now it's coming together. How cool is it?
Yeah, exactly. This is the vision that we had. And I mean, going back to my free agency, I was watching the wild card game against the Yankees, and you see Schwarber hit the homer, and it's like, man, that's a special place. You always know coming to play as a visitor. You feel the environment, you feel the intensity, the atmosphere is incredible. But just that's what sticks out, and I think that's such an incredible thing, incredible place to call home, and we have the best advantage in all of sports, I think, with our fans and with this park. So we're looking to ride that here down the stretch.
Can you imagine what Crochet Day would be like at Fenway in the postseason?
Yeah. I mean, electric. Every time this dude takes the ball, man, we feel really good about our chances of winning, and he sets the tone, and I think that's what the big boys do. So I'm pumped that he's here for a long time.
Do you allow yourself to already think ahead about like what it would be like? You had postseason experience when you came up to you were called up to the big leagues instantly after being drafted entirely because the White Sox wanted to see you being able to contribute in the postseason. Haven't had a postseason start. Have you allowed yourself to think about what that would feel like, or do you want to be surprised by the moment?
I try not to. I catch myself doing it, but the postseason's not a given. We still have a lot of game left to play, and we have to earn it at the end of the day. I think that, that's what we're focused on as a clubhouse right now, is continuing to earn it every day and, not be caught off guard by anything that the rest of the season will hold for us.
The K-men hang the Ks up on the Green Monster when you pitch. That's a tradition that goes back to Pedro, right? They pick a guy. How cool is it to be that guy? Yeah, that's not just because you're striking out guys, but because you're connecting with the fans in that special way. Are you aware of that connection and how you resonate with the fans?
No, I don't think I was until you brought it up, but it's really cool. It's an honor to wear the uniform and to be able to, call this place home. And I think that every start that I make, I start to feel the fans get into it a little bit more and more. But that's just a testament to, the brand of baseball that we're playing right now. As we've gotten further into the season, I think that you've seen everyone kind of take that next step. And I just look forward to, finishing the season strong and, hopefully playing in October.
You mentioned the hyper-focus about like what's immediately in front of you, the need to accomplish, to position yourselves to make the playoffs. What is this stage of the season? Mid-August, I always think of as being, the kind of steepest part of the hill, right? Where their rosters haven't expanded yet. The weather's still pretty hot, right? So it's kind of a taxing part of the season. You're in it, and it feels like, you're scoreboard watching a little bit more. How would you describe what mid-August is in the middle of a pennant race?
Yeah, I think, it's I think on schedule it looks like there's not a lot of baseball left, but in reality there is so much to be played and so much, like B said, we still have to earn it. Obviously, we hold a spot right now, but there's a lot of baseball to be played, and these are big league teams, man. They're coming to beat us, and I think that's going to serve us well as we play through this stretch of games. Leading into the postseason, it's gonna feel like every game is a mini playoff game. And I think when I was in Colorado when we were playing down the stretch, it was we were neck and neck with the Dodgers the whole way, and then it's really easy to look at the scoreboard and every single night. But I think the way that we did it well was, dude, you literally don't have to look at the scoreboard or the standings until the last series. And that's when it really matters. And obviously we're competing for the division, and we go there to Toronto there at the end. So really not looking at it at all, just taking care of what we have each and every night.
I'm glad you said that, because we were talking about that on the road trip, like 40 games, and it's such a baseball thing. There's only 40 games left. Yeah, it's 3 football seasons.
Yeah.
It's half a hockey season. It's a lot of games. And if you go back 40 games ago, you guys were about 500. You hadn't taken. You were just taking off, right? And then you took off. And that changes everything. That momentum, like this better than anybody, right? It's how you're playing at the end of this, right?
Exactly.
You got to be in position to make the playoffs, but then you got to be playing your best baseball come the end of it.
That's it. That's exactly right. It's that's why you do your best to get in, but it's really about who gets hot, at the right time. And I think who's playing their best brand of baseball, in October, late September. Those are the teams that make runs. You look at the Diamondbacks last year. You hop in that wild card spot, and then you start, you play well, man, and the possibilities are endless. So that's what it's about. It's about trying to play your best baseball there at the very end, and I feel good about that.
Just stay tremendously locked in.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
That's
right?
simple.
You got to love it. Get a couple new T-shirts. Good stuff, guys. We appreciate the visit. And what you do for the Jimmy Fund means so much. We thank you both.
Of course. Thanks.
Thanks, guys, for everything.
Garrett, Crochet, Trevor Story with us as we are approaching $4 million. Again, only 5 times have we topped the $4 million mark over the course of the 2 days, and we're hoping to do that here on the 23rd annual WEEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon.
It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we start, so much of us is made from what we've learned to you. You'll be with us like a handprint on our heart. And now, no matter where our stories end, we know that you've rewritten ours by being a friend. Like a ship torn from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a bird that meets a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if we've been changed for the better? I do believe we have been changed for the better. Because we knew you, because we knew you, because we knew you, we have been changed for good. Thank you, Tim Wakefield. We love you.
This hour of the 23rd annual WEEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon is brought to you by your New England Ford dealers and F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 48 years and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox.
They sat us outside and we watched the players sort of stretching, and then players would come over one by one. And what I sort of was thinking is, well, when are the kids going to get their individual pictures? How are we going to get pictures of these kids? Because we were separated by this, the green sort of gate. And the first one that came out was Tim, who hopped over the gate and immediately went into the kids and just started talking with them. So all of a sudden we look, and to the right of me, Tim Wakefield was sort of in the back row. There's probably maybe 12 to 14 rows of our kids had filled up. And to the right was Robbie, who obviously could not wait to have Tim talk to him. So with his one leg, he hopped up the stairs, at least 12 stairs, to get to Tim. And at one point I sort of yelled over, he'll come to you. And Tim had sort of kind of caught his eye, and he gets up there. The kids just cleared the way. I mean, everyone was out of their seats so he could sit next to Tim. And we're crying because we thought, this is why we're here. This is why we do this. This is the medicine. And the story gets better. So he's talking with them. We're taking pictures, and all of a sudden I look up, and I guess Tim had said to him, "How are you going to get down? Do you need a lift?" And he took Robbie, and he brought him down. Isn't that fabulous?
Yep.
And if you see Robbie, I've never seen that smile on Robbie before. And I don't know if it looks, I mean...
That's about as good as it gets right there.
Look at the smile on Wakefield.
Yeah.
I know. He was fighting back the tears. And I think it's one of those things where us as chaperones, he didn't just carry Robbie down. He carried all 40 of those kids down.
Now, Lisa Scherber talking about Tim Wakefield and what he did for this cause for so many years, and the legacy he left, and the platform that this continues to build on. Year after year, we spend so much time talking about Tim because nobody got it better than Tim. Tim and Stacy Wakefield, Brianna Wakefield, their daughter, joining us now. And Bree, we've been loading it up here over the years, over the hour. You've been watching a lot of footage that we've been showing of your father, but you see those stories and you hear those stories and you understand the connection, and you do because you're very involved in all of this now. What does it mean to you to be able to continue the family legacy?
The legacy is something that a lot of people think that I have to continue. But to me, it's something that I just want to. Because my dad instilled in me that it's all that's important is that have I helped someone else that's less fortunate than me. And it's just more of a want than I have to.
It's an incredible thing because, I mean, really, I imagine that this has been part of what you've done your entire life, really, right? Like, do you even remember the first time that you started connecting with Jimmy Fund patients, and when you started with, like, how old were you when you started being a part of the community?
Yeah, I remember it vividly because it made such an impact on me. I was actually 6 or 7. And we went in during Christmas time when Santa was visiting the kids, and we brought presents. We had cleared the Target aisles of toys, of the kids' toys, and we brought it over to the hospital when I was 6 or 7, and I just walked around with him and passed out presents to all the kids with Santa with us, and just the impacts that he's made on those kids have stuck with me forever, and that's why that I'm going to school, because I want to be a nurse and I want to help those kids as much as I can.
I wanted to ask you about that. I remember your father telling me that when you were like 8. You know, she wants to be a nurse. She wants to grow up and help that because you really did understand the magic with Lisa and what was going on at that clinic at that young an age.
Yeah. I've met the patients. I've seen the families. I've made connections. I've met the nurses, the doctors, and obviously I'm very close with Lisa. And I've seen myself how much of a difference anything, just 5 minutes out of your day or $20 just to give and donate. I have seen, and I continue to see at the clinic how much of a difference it really does make.
You're taking on a lot. You're a student now, right? You are a college student who is pursuing nursing. Have you been able to continue work at the Jimmy Fund as part of what you do? How difficult is it to balance that, or has it been helpful to you as you've gotten kind of settled into your academic life up here?
Yeah, I try to visit as much as I can whenever I have time to. I absolutely love going, and those kids actually help keep me going. They help keep me grounded, and being able to see them as much as I can helps me understand really how, like, why I'm doing this, why my dad did it, and my mom, and how I can continue to help those kids.
You've gotten very involved with the Red Sox Foundation. You've been working with them this summer. Trevor has been a rock star salesman of 50/50. So tonight, Brock Holt and I are going to go out in the crowd and sell 50/50s. Is there anything we could learn from Trevor? Because he's amazingly successful, I've been told, selling these things.
Trevor's just a man of the people. I don't know how it happens. He's just a man of the people.
He connects. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, but getting involved in the Red Sox Foundation, getting involved in all of the different charities. You know, we always say and you've said this as well, when you go down and visit patients, you come away uplifted, right? People think, oh, that must be tough. You're like, no, it's not tough at all. But getting involved in all of this, what has it done for you?
it's really helped me going from just a visitor trying to give my time, because when I give out presents, that I've met the parents and they're like, this just made their entire year. This is their last treatment, or this is their first treatment, or this is like they're going home to finally like just rest. And just giving my time is just so important to me, and it's really not anything that I really think about like, oh my gosh, like I have to go. I get to go today, and I get to go help everyone.
Are you, as you study nursing, is it pediatric nursing that you're interested in pursuing? Is it particularly
Yes,
the kids
sir.
that you're
Yeah.
hoping to be with?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. You threw out the first pitch last year, right? And every time you come here at Fenway Park, there are a lot of people who are surrounding you. That 2004 team, right? We joked last year that you've got a bunch of, call them uncles or whatever you want, who
Yeah.
I pity any boyfriend who gives you a hard time ever with all those guys. But what does that support? What does this community of Red Sox Nation mean to you and your brother?
It means everything. Just the coming here and being able to work here now, it's like finally coming home. Fenway is home for me and Trevor. And having those uncles and that support of Red Sox Nation really means the world to me. And after my father had passed, just the overwhelming support and love that I'd felt. And then when my mom passed, just the continued support has made an incredible difference in my life.
Well, and you continue to make a difference in what it means to be at Fenway with that, as you honor and continue and further that legacy. But as much as we get to see that first pitch, everyone talked about whether or not you were going to throw a knuckleball. And I realized that was, you did an amazing job of doing so. But no one's really asked, like, how did Veritek do catching it? Because really, I think that you probably had throwing it in the back of your pocket. Jason catching it was a different story.
Oh, I wasn't going to let anyone catch it other than Jason. He did amazing. I see him constantly, and he's a father figure to me more than an uncle. He, after my parents have passed, him and Catherine and their daughter Liv really became a family to me.
We had Mike Timlin on just at the top of the hour, and of all the uncles, he and your father just sort of clicked right away because they saw life in so many ways the same way, right? The willingness to help others, the willingness to help teammates, the willingness, and I said with him, your father, Mike Timlin, those are guys, if you were creating kind of the perfect Red Sox player, that's what you'd come out with. Mike Timlin's been a special guy for the family as well, hasn't he?
Of course, always, yeah. We went out and saw him the first day of the PMC. It was actually my dad's birthday, August 2nd, the first day of the PMC, and I got to see him, and I was just so glad that I was able to see him because he lives out in Colorado. So I was like, when am I going to see you again? But he's just been great.
Yeah, he's been great. You've been great. We appreciate your time. I know you talked to me yesterday, said, don't ask any tough questions. We took it easy, right?
Yeah.
We were okay.
Yeah.
You're great.
I think you could feel them all, though.
Yeah.
Good glove. Good glove work.
When does school start? You're getting ready?
Next week, Monday.
Ooh, you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready.
There you go. It's great to see you. Thanks
so good
for
to
coming
see
on.
you.
Bree, you're the best.
Thanks so much, Bree.
Thank
Bree
you.
Wakefield with us as we continue wanting you to help us strike out cancer. That is the whole point of these 2 days, and your generosity has been incredible. Like we said, closing in on $4 million, but we've got a lot of time to get that up higher. 877-738-1234 is where you call. JimmyFund.org is where you go online. You can also text to give. If you text K-Cancer to 56512, you can also enroll in Jimmy's Team, a monthly giving program. Instead of a one-time donation, you can give regular gifts each month. All of that adding up to so much. It's been a great hour.
It's been fantastic. That's us. Tom, that's you and me standing on our tiptoes next to those guys so we don't look too short.
In full disclosure, there's a ramp on the side I was standing on. So you
had the benefit of a ramp and we're on tiptoes?
The ramp was downhill. I mean, the guy's already a foot taller than me.
There's a reason why he's called Beast.
Great to have Garrett Crochet signing the Wall of Fame here. Trevor Story and Garrett Crochet coming by. I love that they were taking a minute and looking at some of the names autographed on the other baseballs, some of the greats that we've had in here over the course of the years. The entire roster, literally every member of this team, coming together for the Jimmy Fund, and this was a cool moment. A couple minutes later, Brock Holt, my co-chair, was here outside, and Lisa Scherber there hugging the players as well. Lisa, by the way, has been everywhere over the course of these 2 days.
I mean, over the course of far more than just these 2 days, but what Lisa Scherber does, as we all know, is a little short of miraculous, and she is a hero to many of us for all of the things that she does, and there are too many to enumerate.
Sunday, October 5th is the Jimmy Fund Walk. Last year, you put together Team 49 in honor of Tim Wakefield. I joined Team 49. We got to walk. We're going to do it again.
We are going to do it again, and this year there might be playoffs entering the picture, so we're going to make it happen wherever we are. If I'm on the road for a playoff game, then I will be walking wherever I am to honor Tim Wakefield, to be a part of Team 49, and to further try to support the Jimmy Fund.
We need Rob Manfred, if you're watching. I'm sure he watches this all the time. We need a night game. If the Sox playing that would be very helpful. Game so that we can walk in the morning. That would
duly accommodating.
1 o'clock game would not be as helpful, but we're going to do it one way or the other. If you want to get involved in the Jimmy Fund Walk, check it out at jimmyfund.org. There's Bree after our visit. So great to see her. What an impressive young woman.
Extraordinary. I feel like I learn a lot from her about how to be a better person, and that is. I certainly did from her dad as well.
And there's the moment with Lisa Scherber afterwards. It's been an incredible hour. It's been 3:10 to left, presented by New England Ford Dealers. We thank you for checking things out here as we got caught up with Garrett Crochet and Trevor Story. Nice to hear from Tim Wakefield. Tim Wakefield's daughter, Bree. And nice to hear from his friend, Mike Timlin, on the show here as well. We'll see you again next time on 3:10 to left. The Telethon continues after this.
This hour of the 23rd Annual WEEI Nesson Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon is brought to you by your New England Ford Dealers and F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 48 years and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox.